Mormonism Seminar, Part 4, Mormon Scriptures, Are They Trustworthy? And Answers to Some Common Questions. In this part of this seminar, we will look at the 3 books other than the Bible that the Mormon Church considers to be Scripture, and see some of the serious problems with these books. Then we will see some answers to some common questions regarding Mormon teachings and beliefs. Book of Mormon. The Book of Mormon is by far the most well-known Mormon book that Mormons consider to be quote-unquote Scripture. This is the book that the Mormon Church tries the hardest to get into non-Mormon people's hands, in an effort to draw them into their faith. The Book of Mormon is certainly the closest to the Bible in the way it reads of any of the 3 additional Mormon books of Scripture. 2 major reasons why would be: Number 1, there are 25 chapters in the Book of Mormon that have been plagiarized from the King James Version Bible, with some alterations. There are also many verses that have been plagiarized from the King James Version Bible that are found scattered throughout the Book of Mormon. Here we have a comparison of the Book of Mormon, 2 Nephi chapter 12, as plagiarized from the King James Version Bible, Isaiah chapter 2. In both of these chapters, the black letters would be identical. The red letters are letters that are found in the Book of Mormon only and not found in the Bible, while the brown letters are letters found in the Bible only and not in the Book of Mormon. This would be an ideal time for me to tell a story. A few years back, I was talking to a couple of Mormon missionaries and explaining to them that I believed the Bible was very trustworthy, while I knew plenty of areas in the Book of Mormon that were very corrupt and had problems. One of the Mormon missionaries explained to me that she knew that there were several areas in the Bible that had problems as well. I asked her to just show me one, because I had seen several supposed problems in the Bible, but had never been able to find one that really was a problem. She thought for a minute, and after a little bit she said, "Well, I think there's a spot in the Bible, isn't there, that talks about the mean man boweth down, and the great man humbleth himself, therefore forgive them not." And I thought, I think she may be right. So I started searching into the Bible, and sure enough, I found a verse in Isaiah chapter 2, verse 9. I found a verse, and I looked at it, and it says, "And the mean man boweth down, and the great man humbleth himself, therefore forgive them not." And I thought, well, that's kind of odd. So I turned to one of my books, Encyclopedia of Bible Difficulties, or one of those books, and I looked for that verse and couldn't find anything in there. I continued to look through a couple other books that address different Bible difficulties and couldn't find anything in them, and I thought, well, this is weird. There's nothing in any of these books that talks about this verse. It must be something really, really easy or something. So I just opened up the Bible again and started reading a few verses before and a few verses after. Well, if you start in verse 7, it reads like this: "Their land also is full of silver and gold, neither is there any end of their treasures. Their land is also full of horses, neither is there any end of their chariots. Their land also is full of idols, they worship the work of their own hands, that which their own fingers have made. And the mean man boweth down, and the great man humbleth himself, therefore forgive them not." So I looked at that and thought, well, no wonder they're worshiping idols. Why would God forgive idol worshippers? But now look at this. This is the Book of Mormon, 2 Nephi chapter 12, verses 7 through 9, plagiarized from the King James Version Bible, Isaiah chapter 2, verses 7 through 9. Joseph Smith, as he was plagiarizing from the Bible, messed this all up, and now he does have a problem in his plagiarized form of these verses, while the Bible has no problem at all. Once again, the black letters are letters that are identical in the Bible and the Book of Mormon, while the red letters are letters only in the Book of Mormon, and the brown letters are letters only in the Bible. So the Book of Mormon version of this would read, "Their land also is full of silver and gold, neither is there any end of their treasures. Their land is also full of horses, neither is there any end of their chariots. Their land is also full of idols, they worship the work of their own hands, that which their own fingers have made. And the mean man boweth not down, and the great man humbleth himself not, therefore forgive him not." So the Book of Mormon has the mean man and the great man not bowing down and worshiping idols, and they're not to be forgiven for not worshiping idols. This is a problem. Here are a few other examples of the plagiarism in the Book of Mormon. This is 2 Nephi chapter 14, plagiarized from Isaiah chapter 4. 2 Nephi chapter 22, plagiarized from Isaiah chapter 12. And here is 3 Nephi chapter 25, as plagiarized from Malachi chapter 4 in the Bible. A second reason why the Book of Mormon appears to be a little bit like the Bible is because, number 2, many of the famous events recorded in the Bible have been duplicated with modifications into the Book of Mormon. The Book of Mormon talks of people being thrown into fiery furnaces and being put into dens of wild beasts, which is basically a plagiarism of the record of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fiery furnace and Daniel in the lion's den. It also talks about people being stoned and living through it. The Bible records that Paul was stoned and left for dead, but when the disciples gathered around him, he rose up. There is also talk of a man named Nephi building an alleged temple that was supposed to have been like the Temple of Solomon, and there is a story that has some parallels to Noah's Ark. The Book of Mormon also very clearly teaches that there is only one God. So people who are at least a little familiar with the Bible and believe that there is only one true God will not find the polytheistic beliefs of the Mormon Church talked about at all in the Book of Mormon. One major reason why I believe the Mormon Church truly wants people to read the Book of Mormon is because if a person begins to believe that the Book of Mormon is inspired by God, the Book of Mormon has verses which brainwash the believer into thinking that they cannot reject the Book of Mormon because it explicitly tells them in 2 Nephi chapter 33, verse 5, quote, "Wherefore no man will be angry at the words which I have written, save he shall be of the spirit of the devil," end quote. Also in Mormon chapter 8, verse 17, it says, quote, "And if there be faults, they be the faults of a man. But behold, we know no fault. Nevertheless, God knoweth all things. Therefore, he that condemneth, let him be aware, lest he shall be in danger of hell fire." End quote.